Arthur Black. Welcome to Weird Homes, a show that looks at the most unusual and bizarre homes in North America. Now today we're going to take a look at 3 signature homes. Homes that could only be owned by the people who live in them. Got their personalities plastered all over the place. Such as, well, how about a Catholic home with a full-color Virgin Mary painted on the side of the house? I'll take you to another weird house, if we can get by the Byzantine knight who's guarding the place. And then there's Jana Davis's home. Comes complete with a haunted Victorian parlor, an opium den, and a staircase completely covered with pencils. These places do not exactly blend in. Let's take a look. Lucky Barry Colpitts lives right by the ocean. He can catch his own food. Looks like dinner tonight will be fillet of folk art. Jana Davis likes her seafood raw, as in sushi. She's also unusually fond of pencils, which may explain why this sushi is fake. It's actually pencil erasers. And Harold Rittenbury? His front yard is filled with fish, fowl, and everything in between. First stop, San Francisco, California. Welcome to the home of Jana Davis, a 3-story Victorian-style house, unremarkable on the outside, but don't be fooled. Behind that door, there's a luau going on. The whimsical wahine is Jana Davis, and she owns the joint. Jana describes herself as an eccentric heiress. She came from hometown Portland, Oregon, to study at the Art Institute of San Francisco.
I love that song.
When she bought the place, it needed a paint job, so Jana brought some people in. Not house painters, her friends and fellow artists. Instructions from Jana? Go crazy. Her friends obliged.
The main attraction, Pennsylvania, a forest of pencils. My friend Jason's been working on this for years. At least 4 years. It goes up 3 floors, and it's not done yet. And we don't exactly know when it'll be done. So this was based on an actual piece of Victorian wallpaper that we found. But there wasn't enough of it to cover the whole wall, so he just decided to do it out of pencils. This is all erasers. And then most of it's pencils. There's the occasional pen cap and the occasional pencil sharpener. They're framing this picture of me as an old lady. I'm not sure, I must be about 88 in this portrait.
Most folks have their portraits sketched with a pencil. Not Jana. Hers is pencils. What happens when you give an artist like Jason Messier an unlimited supply of pencils and complete artistic freedom? Well, pencil gardens complete with flowers and bugs, pencil stalactites and stalagmites, pencil playing cards, even a pencil traffic sign. Don't look now, but I smell warm blue. I think we're getting close to an artist at work.
We have now come to the moment we've all been waiting for. Pencils being glued as we speak. It's Jason and the pencils. Hi, Jason.
Originally, Jana had lots of her different artist friends to design different rooms, and every room was already taken, so I just said, well, I'll do your hallway. But it was sort of just a dare, kind of. I just dared her to let me do it, and she did. But I need to finish.
What happens here, nobody but nobody knows yet. But what lies beyond these doors is for us to find out now. This is the kids' room. It's all about fun. This room was designed by my friend Juana, who is a very playful, childlike young man. And he likes water, so he wanted these little raindrop dudes to be the character that this room was based on. And he drew and painted them all over. And then he made these little quintupuses. It looks like they're flying, but since we're underwater, they're really floating.
And the floor is entirely made of watercolored plasters and river rocks to give the effect of a river underwater. I don't know. Artists don't make any sense to me.
Well, to tell you the truth, Jana, a lot of these rooms don't exactly make sense. There's no kids in the house, but you got a kid's room. Any other oddities?
Well, each room has a theme, and the one that this one sort of started on was the haunted parlor,
like a Victorian mansion. These holes in the walls are all fake. Jason painted them in so that it would look like it was falling apart. This sort of
crazy wall treatment. We wanted to get a paint that was reminiscent of mildew, and I think it worked. Although some people come in here and they don't realize that it was painted that way at first, and they think that my house is really falling apart. But it's a trick. This whole place is full of tricks.
With all these office supplies stuck everywhere, it can be a bit disorienting. Jana, pardon me for asking, but where's the powder room?
Behind the pink pearl door lies the powder pink powder room, designed by my friend Christine. So when you have to go powder your nose, you have a nice pink room to powder in, although there isn't any powder puff in here yet. So it just has this very whimsical, girly feeling to it. Lots of pink and gold.
my favorite colors, flowers, and a big fat bee, because I'm the queen bee.
Oh, yes.
And what does the queen bee do once she's all powdered up? Why, she heads for the other powder room, the one at the top of the house.
Passing through the ethereal gates of heaven, we rise through the clouds to the mystical land of the opium den.
Represents how she...
It's dark, it's mysterious, it's ever so slightly dangerous, even if the opium pipes are empty and the strongest drug in the room is chamomile tea. Even Jana never knows what to expect in the opium den.
I come home after leaving for a few months and I don't know what I'm gonna find because all my friends have the keys to the place and they just come and do whatever they want. So you never know what you're gonna find here.
Well, we're glad we found you, Jana. Next time we need to jot something down and can't find pencil, we know just who to call. In this quiet neighborhood of Athens, Georgia, there's a place unlike any other in the area. Or anywhere else, come to that. Statues and sculptures everywhere you look. This place is part art gallery, part museum. But to Harold Rittenbury, it's home sweet home. Harold never went to art school. He learned by doing. His father built this house, and Harold's been living here for most of his 63 years.
Now, this is one of my latest pieces. I made this just about 3 weeks ago. I like to use a whole lot of symbols and mythologic things. And you can see I have the Greek keys, the sun, and the snakes, and the lotus flower, and palm leaves, and the sun, and the moon. All these things have lots of meaning.
Harold creates art out of what most folks call junk. This Byzantine knight is a prime example.
This piece here is made of found objects. It's just about all kinds of found objects you can think of. This piece right here particularly, it is an old forerunner of a food processor. It needs to be my mother's. It took 2 years to make this.
In 1985, Harold's mother came down with Alzheimer's. Harold quit his job in a department store to stay home and look after her for the next 9 years. In his spare hours, he started to tinker with sculpting. And he started big.
It took quite a time to make this horse. It's about the first big piece I weld, and I was just beginning to weld when I made this horse. It tells about the family unit. This the mother and the father, and this is the bringing up of the children. That's what that ladder represents. And these are the kids here. And these are different peoples in their lives, and they helping each other. They're going on, they're going through school, and up here is hope. They went through college, and now they up so they can help each other. They up.
Harold's sculptures cause many passers-by to come back for a second look. He gets a lot of visitors and a few odd reactions.
One lady, she come up in the yard, she said, where do you get that robot from? I said, I made that thing. She said, that thing, will it walk? I said, no, it's just a sculpture. She said, I believe that thing will walk. I have people coming by in cars and on foot and asking me about how I do this, why I did it, why I do it.
What made you want to do all this?
Oh yeah, I just have to do something. So art is my thing. I do that all the time.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
It looked kind of nice.
Yeah.
How long it took you to build it?
That took me 2 years to do that.
So this is just a hobby.
Well, it's more of my life than a hobby.
So that's all you do?
Yeah.
Okay, it been catching my eye. I just ain't never stopped and look at it.
I don't know what they label my home, but I know what it is to me. It's a sanctuary. I can think when I come here. And my thoughts are more pure here to me. I believe if I move, I don't think I could work like I did here, because everything here I know.
Not to worry, Harold. Nova Scotia's scenic eastern shore. Lots of sights to see on this drive, including this one. And if you follow her directions, you'll find yourself in the village of West Jador, home of folk artist Barry Colpitts, his wife Betty Ann, and son Craig.
Every other house in the neighborhood is white. We decided to paint ours pink. I would have liked to paint it purple, but you can't get purple in the kind of paint I wanted. Like everything bright, especially in the wintertime when everything is sort of dull and white with snow and whatever. So we wanted bright.
Bright he got. Barry's house is actually 120 years old, but it looks as fresh and innocent as a child's imagination. And the colorful decor doesn't stop at the door. There's more of the same inside, right up to and including the ceiling. What's it like to live in a place like this? Betty Ann Colpitts has one word for it.
Fun is the biggest word to describe it. And when you come home, you can't help but be in a good mood, lifted, when you see all this stuff around.
Barry wasn't always a folk artist. He's been everything from a nurse's aide to a meat cutter. A stint as a prison guard left him with time on his hands. He started carving sculptures and sticking them up around his 2-acre property. And that's when interesting things began to happen.
People would stop by and ask me if I was selling them. I told them, no, I'm not selling them. And then sometimes people come by and they were pretty, insist, you know, can I buy one of these? So I told a fellow one day to get rid of them, $50 you can have that for. And he bought it. And not only that, he came back and bought everything I had.
But Barry's art wasn't accepted universally. Some of his sculptures got under the neighbor's skin.
I used to make nude things, nude statues, and the neighbors didn't care for that at all. And one night a fella came down and spray painted clothes on this nude statue that I had. And since then, I keep the nude things indoors, and I don't have any more problems along those lines.
Just as well, Barry decided to keep the clothes on his outdoor sculptures. Most of them are carvings of his relatives, friends, and neighbors.
Over here, this is the front of my house. This is my mother when she was pregnant with me back in 1960. This is my wife, Betty Ann. She used to be a nun a long, long time ago. That's my Uncle George up there. Used to be a Mountie, retired now. This is Bob. He lives down the road. This is his wife, Audrey. Really nice lady, always something nice to say.
Are Barry's carvings close to the original? Check this out.
He used to have a cigarette in his mouth, and Barry tells me that an icicle fell off the roof and dropped it off the same week that I stopped smoking.
Around here, I think they call me bald-headed Darren. Is that right? There was a time that I had less hair. And all I can think is that that's the time that Barry created me and sculpted me. And it's been this miraculous return of hair since that time. I can't explain it. It's just there. And it wasn't there when he sculpted me.
Every carving by Barry captures something special about the subject. That includes a carving of his wife, Betty Ann. It has a special place of honor on the roof.
I always used to stand this way. Yep. Looking out at the water. My favorite stand. He captured it.
This is my workshop called The Cheese, and it's a triangle building painted like a piece of cheese. Has some rats and mice and a cat on it. I made the cheese because my old workshop, which was in the barn, was rotten with mice, and I decided to just give in and build a piece of cheese, and if they wanted to come, they could come, and if they didn't, they didn't. So I got some insulation in this and fixed it up, and it's a great workshop.
Each year, more than 2,000 visitors pass through Barry's colorful abode. Is that because it's beautiful, or is that because it's weird? What do you think, Barry?
Well, it seems normal to me now, and it would seem pretty weird without all my carved friends around. But I guess it's a weird home. It's probably going to get weirder, as that goes.
Bye-bye.
But it's home.
And thanks for sharing it with us, family Colpitts. So long to you and your wooden friends. And say adios too to Jana Davis, Queen of Pennsylvania, California. And goodbye to you, Harold Rittenbury. If we could all recycle like you, there wouldn't be a scrap of scrap metal in the country.
3 homeowners who have made their mark. I made my mark on my home when I was younger, but my mother made me scrub it off. I'm Arthur Black. Hope you enjoyed Weird Homes. We'll see you next time.